Hello, and welcome to Tabletop Galaxy. I am Gregory. This is Second Sunrise. I have an amazing crew with me this evening, as always. So before we get into anything, actually, I wanted to talk with the three of you about a mistake I realized that I made last week. Because when I was editing, I'm like listening to this show and what we did and all that kind of thing. And obviously there's lots of things I would love to do better. I'm learning, as we all are. However, one thing I noticed that we sort of all missed is actually super important. At one point, Corvix took cover, and there should have been a setback when the droid fired at him, but I completely forgot about it, and so did Kevin. So what I wanted to bring up is, like, when you take cover, it is a really good thing to do because it makes it harder for your enemies to shoot you. Obviously, that's fairly obvious. I mean, that's clear, right? The thing is, I might not always remember. So between us, like if your character takes cover and I maybe forget or miss it, let's just try to help each other remember that. One thing I was considering doing was on our Roll20 page, make like an actual, like, we have the range bands for our characters. I thought we might put like a little bar that just says like cover. And so if you're in cover, you could slide yourself down there or out of there just as a reminder. If that would help, we could do that in the future. But I definitely wanted to bring it up since we're an educational podcast. I feel like it was a good thing to just talk about for a minute because I missed it and I realized I missed it and it definitely could have made a difference. So, because Corvix took 7 damage that he might not have needed to take, or maybe not taken all of that. So anyway,
I mean, I think it's funnier if he gets beat up really bad on his first job, but that's just me.
Yeah. Again, I'm not retconning any of that. He took the damage, but in retrospect, I'm really like, oh yeah, ooh, that's a rule that I probably should not have mixed up. So cover and setbacks.
Kane would have respected him less if he didn't take any damage.
Right.
Yeah.
And it goes
this for the character growth.
This is the truth. It's all about character growth. It's also fairly true for the boost as well, though. So, as we've been doing, Nifer, you were amazing in our last session, for real, with all the rules, help, and everything. I appreciate how we work as a group because, yeah, for sure that at the moment I'm the GM, but that's going to change at some point. We're just here as friends to have fun, and it's really helpful to do that. So thank you. So I'm just asking for the boost and setbacks and that kind of thing. Let's kind of help each other with that too. Because I feel like I may have missed one from Kane as well, but I don't know. So it's in the past, but going forward, I just thought I'd bring it up.
We learn from our mistakes.
Right? Let's do it. So from
side note, speaking of, your Clockwork Zephyr background keeps popping up on the stream, by the way. Just so you know.
Thank you. I'm going to try to avoid that. So thank you. I appreciate it. Let me make sure. Let's do one last here. Let's see if we can do this and this. That should, hopefully that won't happen again. So that being said, let's do our intros and talk about XP, and then we'll move on from there. So as we usually do, let's go in alphabetical order. Kev, would you start us off?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin, known as Son of Clark on Twitter, and I'm playing Corvix93, who is a droid colonist, a doctor, who has joined up with the crew of the Second Sunrise and is looking to make some cash.
Spectacular.
Hi, I'm Nifer. I'm playing Ono Elakemi, or Elly, and she's a Twi'lek politico colonist. And she's also a Force sensitive, so she's kind of wrangling feelings alongside everything. Yep. I don't know anything. This is fine.
Your force usage last game was great. I can't wait to see how that grows. All
I
right,
can't wait
Kane.
for consequences to hit me in the face because it's gonna.
Did someone
Probably.
say Inquisitor?
Oh. Hey, Nick. How about you?
Hey everybody, my name is Nick. I'm playing Kane McAllister. He's a hired gun heavy, and just is ready to shoot some stuff.
All right, now have you spent XP, and if so, what did you spend it on? You got 10 again last session, so we're at a total of 30 for season 2 here so far.
Neither Corvix nor Kevin have looked into spending that XP yet.
Oh, do it, man.
I'm saving up again,
Yeah.
so I haven't spent.
Fair. Some of those talents get expensive, and I know like Kane was like 3 or 4 deep into the heavy ranged or something.
Yeah. So I did upgrade with that last 10. I did get to upgrade my heavy ranged to rank 5.
Oh my goodness. Maximum. That's cool. That
You're
is super
so
cool.
cool. You're
I'm gonna shoot all
carrying this
the
team's
things.
guns right now.
Maybe
shoot
you
all
can
of
hit
them.
something this session.
Okay. All right.
Shade.
Shots fired.
Where's-
Maybe it'll be Corvix first.
Shots fired, but not really by Kane, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, all right. Well, on that note, so before we get going into the nitty gritty of actually playing this game, I wanted to ask a question, as I have been doing, that will give us a little more insight into these characters, who they are, what they're like, and so forth. So we have a rust-colored orange droid that has an ovoid facial hole. Apparently, there's no
Just say
circuitry
face
or
hole. We
anything.
know.
Yes, we got the face hole, so we know what he looks like, but we don't know what he does when no one else is there. So he was offered the med bay as a temporarily sleeping quarters. Does Corvix have an evening and morning routine, and if so, what are they?
So Corvix likes to read in his spare time, and he kind of likes to watch. He has a collection of holodramas, as well as a collection of a wide range of music. As I've mentioned before, he's kind of like looking for himself and exploring his own humanity, for lack of a better, more inclusive species term. And so he likes to watch those videos and watch TV and movies and like connect with that aspect of sentience. And occasionally the crew may hear some weird music coming from the med bay.
I love it.
My only thought right now is Corvix watches Great British Bake Off and to feel human.
Literally all the time.
Yep.
That's epic. Cool. So he spends the evening reading. How about in the morning? Does he have something specific he does when, it's time to start the day, quote unquote?
Not particularly. As a droid, he doesn't really have to like sleep or whatever, but he does try to have he tries to schedule a relaxation period for himself to like feel more like a sentient, like a organic being. He likes to take some time to unwind, even though he doesn't have to.
Meditating on the nature of consciousness and sentience.
Yeah, exactly. So, Corvix's mornings, much like Hopper, for coffee and contemplation, thinking about his place in the universe.
All right. How about Elly? What does her evening routine / morning routine look like?
Well, Corvix stole mine with the Great British Bake Off, so
So do we see this cut scene of like the 5 crew members where each of them is in their room on their data pad watching different HoloNet stuff?
No, I think it's probably like we all share the same Space Netflix, and I go and try and watch The Great British Bake Off, and it's like, sorry, somebody on your account is already watching this title, and I'm like,
Even better.
yep.
You let it autoplay, and it's like a different episode than where you left off. You're like, what the crap's going on?
Who keeps changing my account? Yeah. But yeah, no, she probably is one of those people that does like meditation and yoga, not because she actually wants to, but she's like, I guess it would be good for me to calm down and have this time, so I'm going to begrudgingly do that as a bedtime routine.
Okay.
And just is not calmed by it, but she thinks she should be.
Maybe it was
And-
something that her family tried teaching her that she like doesn't think she should do, but something is telling her maybe she should, but
I
it's
think
not
it was
because they taught
probably-
her.
I think it was probably picked up like in retaliation of her family, of like her
Even
family's
better.
like, you have goals all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna wind down and not do anything right
Love
now.
it.
See,
Even better.
the mornings is all the actual chillness of hanging with my dog, my 6-legged space puppy.
Cool.
He blue, he
Mm.
cute, and
3
it's
eyes,
just a
6
lot
legs.
and Elly definitely lets him sit on the bed, absolutely. So it's a lot of morning cuddles with the pupper.
Right on. All right. So how about Kane? What's his deal? What is there like weapons cleaning and this sort of thing, or?
Maybe a little bit, but in the evening, so Kane used to have a little bit of the spice habit from his time in the Empire, and as a nasty habit, and he didn't like it, so he ended up kicking it. And now the only thing that seemed to be able to work is knitting, and so
What?
he in his room sort of crochets at night while no one's looking. Sort of things that like, it's like under the covers, like by a little flashlight, like he just knits. He'd absolutely never talk about it, and no one will ever see it, but he knits at night to
Okay.
occupy his mind.
He knits hats like Jane from Firefly.
Yes.
Walks around looking like that.
I
Dang.
literally have one of those in my knitting box right here.
I'm actually 100. Ooh, knitting or crocheting, man, I don't even know the difference.
Knitting is 2 needles, crocheting is 1 hook. I do both.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you
2.
very
It's the
much.
2 one. It's definitely
Knitting,
the 2
knitting
one.
is 2 needles.
It's 2.
Crocheting
Got
is
it.
1 hook.
We're knitting. Thank you, chat.
This,
You
this is
know.
a crochet hook.
This is why we love the chat.
We're an educational podcast. Welcome.
So Kane does
Um,
one, the other, or both. Maybe
He definitely does knitting. He does not crochet.
Okay.
It's the 2.
fair.
It's the 2 hook thing. That's what I envision.
It's
Okay.
not
Or
2
not
hooks,
hook.
it's
the
2 needles.
Yeah. But the
I'm
big
trying
ones,
to
right?
find my needles right here.
Yeah.
That's why I
Perfect.
made such a good nurse back on the ship.
So that's
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Knitting,
those ones. Yeah.
Nice.
crochet,
No,
Those are clearly chopsticks.
or can I lose both?
Yeah, I mean they can be used
So-
for that.
that's what he does in the evening. Kane
Okay.
is a very early riser from his time in the military.
Sure.
And so he's sort of regimented on a very strict schedule, like doesn't sleep in, is very like gotta get stuff done today. And so he works out in the cargo bay in the morning.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
he's just got like his space athletic pants on, no shirt, as he's like doing curls on like one of the catwalks above.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think
I
at
love
one
it.
point, on accident, Elly was walking the pupper around too early and accidentally saw that, and then it became kind of less of an accident.
The
Elly
only
is
time
also
Ellie's
now an
ever
early
gotten up in
riser.
the morning. Yeah.
Elly is conveniently also an early riser now. Mhm.
I like this. Awesome. Thank you for those insights into the characters. All right. So we covered the intros and the experience. My question for learning a little bit about the characters. Now we get into the actual game stuff. So here we go. I'm going to roll applications, see who's up tonight. This is not fair. It's Elly again, and I don't
Every
like it.
time.
No, it's not.
Hey,
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with this.
The test was for nobody, and we've had a nobody, but
I'm okay with it.
oh, gosh, now I
I'm
gotta
a very
think.
stressed person. There's a
Right.
lot happening.
All right,
You got a lot on your mind.
Yeah.
Educational time. Like what happens? So eventually, you're gonna keep rolling Elly, and she's gonna keep working off her obligation, right?
That is
So then
something
it
we
just
also
goes
need
away?
to discuss is how we work off obligation. Maybe that will come into play this evening. But so that's obligation. Now it's your turn, friends. Let's go ahead and roll those destiny points.
Corvix rolled 1 dark side point.
Oh, what did I miss? Oh, yeah. This
Here.
thing, Thank you,
Do we need to
Zero.
clear the pool before we roll?
Tech issues. See, I knew there would be some tech issue. Oh, well. There we go. Thank you, One Crit Wonder. Did I not clear the pool? Oh, duh. I probably should clear the pool. No, it was already clear. That's good. So
Okay, good.
Gorvik's got what?
Cool.
Corvix got 1 dark side point for the destiny pool.
Elly
Oh,
also got
goodness.
1 dark side point for the pool.
Hey,
And Kane
we
carrying
changed.
the team as usual.
We
One light side
we
point.
broke the pattern because at least 2 sessions in a row y'all had 3 dark sides. So tonight we have
Nobody
2 and
remembers.
1. So that's good. All right. So we got a different start here. So while Elly does our roll for us, I'm going to ask the audience, "Hey friends, we have an old ship called the Second Sunrise. It is centuries old and it's funny and got quirks, and we would love for you to share your ideas. Send us a tweet on Twitter, send us a message through YouTube or whatever, somehow
Tweet
or other.
directly at me, at
Send it to
Nifer.
Nif. What quirks do you think the ship has? If we find yours to be entertaining and fun, we might throw it in one of our sessions, and we will credit you with being the creator. So 13. What is 13 for the ship quirk?
So, this is going to be annoying and very sad. But the intercom intermittently blasts an urgent, distressing message for its passengers in an unrecognizable, perhaps even dead language. Good morning.
So, yeah, everyone gets woken up real early today, apparently. That's perfect. So how am I going to work that into the crawl text? Let's see. Well, we'll figure that out
Just
eventually.
interrupt the crawl text.
Right. All right. So, let's start the crawl text and see where we begin today's session. The galaxy is in turmoil as the Empire grows ever stronger, while the rebellion struggles to grow its opposition to the tyrannical rule of the Emperor. On the edge of the Empire, these struggles are merely the subjects of the Holonet news. Here on the edge, the concerns are far more personal and immediate. Having rescued the pilot, Blinn Campbell, the crew of the Second Sunrise rested and patched their wounds. Corvix 93, the droid doctor they just met, was invited to join up with this ragtag band of misfits. Now they need to get paid. As the sun rises over Socorro, the crew discusses their next move. Here at the edge, jobs are plentiful, but there's always competition, and you never know when you'll end up at the wrong side of a blaster.
Is there a wrong side of the blaster to Kane? I don't think there is.
Kane knows what to do from either end, I'd imagine.
from all sides.
Yeah, he
Pick a
does.
side, and I will kill you with it.
That's right. So, the crew came back from rescuing Blinn. They were able to, number one, save his life And number 2, retrieve the cargo crates. They were able to retrieve 6. They passed on the 4. They delivered 4 that they were intended to in the wee hours of the night. Then returned to the ship and looked through the 2 that they were able to keep as something of a, let's call it a down payment from Blinn in recompense for saving his life. He is definitely indebted to you. Dare I say, obligated to the crew on some level, and probably going to be a friend that may be able to help out in the future. We don't know. Currently, he's in the medical establishment being hopefully treated and repaired and enjoying a nice back to bath. You guys looked through the crates but didn't really do much with them, and then turned in for the evening. When you wake up to this blaring announcement over the intercom from the ship, it sounds like what probably has happened is like some ancient message is just like stuck in the buffer somehow, and it hasn't been cleared yet. One thing you do, so the first thing that happens is Kane, Elly, and Corvix introduce Corvix to Vosk and Zarko. Vosk attempts to help Corvix out with his damage to his hull, but he lets you know that he doesn't have the right tools or the right like patch equip. Like he doesn't have what he needs to do it. He could do it, but it like he tried to cobble some things together, but realized very quickly it was just going to be useless. So you got that information, and then he and Vosk at separate times, he and Zarko at separate times went off to do whatever it is that they had to do to continue work on repairing the ship. You do notice at this point that Vosk is apparently deep in the repairs because there are wires everywhere. It's like, it seems as if he is like just pulling out like all the wires of the whole ship. He reports that he's making actually pretty good progress, and Kane is probably the first one to notice that in the morning that the door is actually functioning again correctly to your room. So apparently Vosk is making progress. He told you he's been working on the turret controls and essentially rewiring and such. Apparently Zarko is still trying to find the kind of like the hull plating and track down the different components and scrap and whatever it is that they need to continue the repairs. So he's out doing that. You have these 3 weapons and these 3 pieces of armor. Would you all like to have a discussion and figure out who's going to get what, if anything, or if you're going to try to sell it?
Well, as I recall, we have an extra armored clothing. We have a kind of environment suit. And then we have a storm charge suit, which I want to dibs based on the name alone, but probably it would work better on somebody else.
So so let's do a quick description of what each sort of is, I guess. So the yes, you told us what they were. Armored clothing is the thick, like, gives you some padding. That's what most of us were wearing, right?
Hey, thanks for the raid, Tabletop.
Hey, love it. Thank you for the raid.
We're having a little loot drop party right now.
We're talking loot. Loot drop. Do you want to tell us what the Carflow thin suit is?
Yeah, I will pull up the actual page on it.
I'm going to share these in chat in case anyone wants to read along with us.
Yeah. So it is a light body armor that protected users against hostile environments, including radiation, chemical, pressure, temperature, and vacuum, although it did not provide air.
Yep. Definitely. It's it's favored by scouts.
AKA, we're pretty sure that Gregory put this in the game because he wanted it for Zarko.
You know, it was one of the first armor pieces I saw that was in the right band of value. Like, oh, okay, cool, that's neat. The next one is, well, armor clothes is obvious, but then the Corellian Arms Storm Charge suit is the third piece. You want to tell us what that one's about?
Yeah, let me do a quick Google. Unless you put the link in chat.
Yep, there it is. So the storm suit is padded armor, but it's lined with fabrics resistant to electric energy. So when it's on, it's also able to charge that energy and basically direct it at your foes if someone contacts you. So it's kind of like if you get into melee or someone is trying to like grapple you or something like this, you can essentially shock them.
So it's kind of like a Black Panther suit from the MCU.
Yeah.
Sort of. It does strain damage, not actual physical damage.
But look, if you're fighting minions,
still,
it's the same thing.
Exactly. Essentially, it's like being equipped with shock gloves. That's functionally how it works. So that's a cool one, too. Next, we have some weapons, which are a heavy blaster pistol, which is sort of self-explanatory. It just does more damage than a regular blaster pistol. And next we have a Sorosub X30 Lancer Precision Blast Pistol. I will share the link for that in case anyone is interested. Oops, I forgot to do the storm suit. There's the storm suit.
There we go.
And then here is the Lancer Precision Pistol. Oh, that sounds cool. Tabletop Anthologies, Imperial Inquisitors. There was reference to maybe the potential of seeing some in our game. We'll see. I'm not saying I have anything planned.
What up, Dark Side Force user?
So the Sorosub X30 Lancer Precision Pistol is pretty dope. The neat thing about it is it's very accurate, and it also is able to pierce, which means it can like ignore soak. So cool stuff. It's kind of like a sporting gun, so it's lightweight, but it's actually pretty effective as well. So
Corvix would express his interest in that.
Cool.
Elly would not express interest in anything.
The last one from the hall is the EE3 Blaster Carbine. Now, I may be incorrect, so please correct me if I am, but I believe that might be the one that
Boba Fett uses.
Boba Fett uses. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
It is.
The wiki says
it is, right? Okay. I thought so. All right. So
Trust
E3,
Wikipedia.
Trust Wikipedia. Everyone.
You know, it's pretty dope. And so what's cool about the carbine are that they have auto fire, which basically means that if you shoot successfully and you have the, I think it's if you have the advantage to do it, it's like it automatically has a second hit, which is in the same round, which is super cool. So those are the items you have retrieved, and you can determine how you want to distribute such items.
As I said, Corvix would express his interest in the light blaster. He's not really the type to be proficient with any sort of rifle or anything heavier than that, but that is definitely something that's right up his alley.
Kane walks over to immediately inspect all of the weapons, takes one look at the pistol, hears the excitement in
Oh no.
yeah, as excited as a droid can be.
Oh no.
And he's gonna toss the light pistol just like over his shoulder at Corvix, and he's like, "Ah, don't hurt yourself, kid."
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were gonna grab the one that he wanted and take it.
Hey, Corvix,
This one is
give me
mine.
Corvix,
Like,
give me an
he's
average
reaching for it?
coordination check.
Just like Corvix is reaching for the gun he wants, and Kane just elbows him aside, takes it.
Kane's not that mean. Easy there.
Well, he's more passive aggressive than aggressive, so
Is the pool set for this?
It oh goodness gracious, it might not be, so bear with me. I'm working on it. Yes, now it is set.
Corvix got 2 failures and 3 advantages.
wow.
Yeah. So you were not expecting Kane to toss a blaster to you. So
Oh no.
I have this feeling that there's this moment of like, if a droid could be in shocked silence, that's essentially what happens, as it just like ping and hits the floor off, it just like pings off of your chassis and then clatters to the floor. So you can choose to do what you like with those advantage, perhaps recover some strain if we don't. So here's the thing, y'all slept. I think strain is reset to 0 from sleeping.
It
right?
is.
I should have said that earlier. All right. You look like you're going to say something, Kane.
Is there, when you sleep too, are there any wounds that go away? Or is that only for, I felt like there was a small amount and then.
I want to say it's half, but I'm going to check the book again.
For sure.
never-
It doesn't do
never
anything for
remember how many
Corvix.
Nope.
So,
Rip.
Right.
unfortunately. And I had, so out of our live stream game here, I did have Vosk roll and he unfortunately failed. So was not able to repair Corvix. So again, we'll do a flashback bonus, at some point of the whole crew meeting. But you can assume that he basically said, yep, sorry, I'm not a droid tech. And besides, I don't have the right tools or the right gear, patch. So you got to, if you can find that, maybe I can do something. But so unfortunately, Corvix is still.
We
wounded.
asked him to make one roll and he can't even heal.
Hey.
It's the one thing.
He's
Nice.
making progress on the ship. He had a very good success on the ship, but not so much with Corvix. So
One.
sorry, bud.
Focusing on the important things, I guess.
It is his job. He's all right. So so we know who's getting the blaster pistol. Is somebody interested in the carbine?
Yeah, that's what Kane tosses the pistol for. And then he starts like looking at it and it starts making all kinds of like clicks and all sorts of noises that
Nice.
no one knew that thing was going to make. And he starts like inspecting it and making sure it's all, looking good. And
Love it.
sounds
It's
like it's
brand
battery
new,
powered.
right? It's brand new and it's high quality, so you're set.
Oh yeah.
Now, is Elly taking one of the 2 nice suits of armor?
That's a good question. I already have armored clothing,
Mm-hmm.
so I could have the charge suit. But I also don't like the implication that implies people may come near me in a fight.
There is that, yes.
So,
Embrace the conflict.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, would it work better, or I guess, like, would it be better for Kane to have it since he's typically front lines?
Doesn't really look like it's my size, kid.
First of all, that was not in character. Don't call me kid. Second, or third, but your
Fourth?
coat got hurt. You need a cooler coat. Clearly.
Nah, I don't think that one's gonna fit.
I don't know.
So,
I kind of want the charge suit.
I mean, you said you wanted it from the beginning, so I think you should take
Nifer
it.
wants it. I don't
I
know
think
that
it's-
Elly wants it.
But I think it's
I actually-
cool.
I actually
I
think it would make
cool,
sense
too.
I think it makes sense for Ellie to take it because it has that charge. So
Okay.
since you're not normally in combat, if somebody comes up to attack you, you've got that like last defense shock kind of thing. So I actually think it makes a lot of sense for Ellie to have it.
Okay. I guess I will take it then. Hooray.
And then when Gregory plays again, we'll just buy him one. It's fine.
Oh, good.
Well,
Let's
the
just
thin suit
spend
is
so
what
much
he.
money.
Zarko would
the
probably
thin
be
suit.
interested in the thin suit if no one else is going to use it.
Perfect.
Corvix
Yeah,
could use
I would-
either the thin suit or the heavy clothing. So
Elly would definitely pull out the thin suit and be like, "This is for Zarko." Like, no doubt.
that's cool. So I would imagine that the heavy clothing. I mean, I adore the idea of Corvix wearing like some cool heavy clothing. Like, I just want to know.
He
what
walks
it
around
looks
looking like a Megatron with his cloak and Transformers 2.
Oh, I'm getting rid of my defense if I get the charge suit.
Oh,
Yeah,
it-
because I have a
does it just-
defense of 1 and a soak of 2.
what are you wearing?
I'm wearing armor already.
What kind? Because heavy clothing doesn't have defense.
I have armored clothing, which has defense of 1 and soak of
nice.
1.
Oh, I thought the.
I was a rich
Oh,
kid. I took extra
yes,
obligation
that's
for
right,
extra money.
That's right. I forgot it.
Corvix is
Well-
wearing nothing
Whoa. Cover up, dude.
and also has no upgrades to his baseline like chassis. So
Yeah.
he's just default across the board as far as defense goes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. He's a droid. Droids don't need clothing.
Yeah.
That's a people thing.
So
Some of us like being naked all the time, you know?
Mood.
Yep. So is Corvix taking any, and if so, which?
Corvix, having never really worn clothing before, wouldn't say no to the opportunity of wearing armor, but he's not just gonna like shrug into it like a kid on Christmas Day. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to think about it for a little while.
Gotcha.
Now I'm just picturing Corvix in an ugly Christmas sweater.
I mean, that's got to be canon.
It's canon, especially because I make the art for this show, so I'm ready.
An ugly Life Day sweater, please. Come on.
Yes,
we
ugly
go.
Life Day. I cannot wait for the Baby Yoda Life Day special that I have planned. I'm very
None of us
happy
can
for it.
wait.
It'll be in December. It'll be good.
Looking forward to it. All right. So you distribute the gear, and then you have stuff to do. What would you like to do first?
I feel like Drifters is on the way
Yeah.
back to anything, so we might as well just return that truck.
I'm still trying to find how we recover wounds.
Oh, you
That's
mean
all right.
for
I only
Sleepy?
got 2.
Yeah.
I slap you with some medicine.
That's
So-
exactly how it works.
All right. So before we get to Drifters, we're gonna do a cutscene here. So the camera is following the heels of a booted individual down a Duracrete and Durasteel hallway. There's actually 2 individuals. They come up to a door and pause, and a female voice says, "Wait here, I'll only be a minute." And then she enters a chamber. The camera then zooms around or pans around to the outside of this building, looking through a window. And the window looks over the back of an individual sitting in a high back chair at a very large desk. The desk is neatly appointed. There are data pads and the likes on the surface. There's a few pieces of art and so forth. It's austere without being gaudy or ostentatious. It's very high quality, and the whole room is similarly appointed. Art on the walls. There's probably like a nice cabinet with some high quality drinks and so forth. A very comfortable looking couch and the like. The door across from this desk slides open, and in walks a blue-skinned female chiss with her red eyes gleaming. The individual at the desk says, "You said you had a message for me." She walks in, stands not quite at attention, but stands firmly in front of the desk, and she says, "Yeah, I thought you'd like to know. You probably already heard the job didn't go quite as well as planned, and Sharnus is dead." And the individual behind, it's a man's voice, the individual behind the desk kind of steeples his hands in front of him and says, "Well, that's rather disappointing. Is there anything else?" And the blue-skinned chiss smiles, a wicked-looking grin, and says, "As a matter of fact, there is. It would seem there's another Ono on the planet."
I literally told her not to mention that.
And then
That's the one thing I told her.
And then the scene fades to black.
And somewhere, Elly just glares into the camera like Jim from The Office.
So, you fire up the hover truck and trundle it over to Drifter's garage. He is there getting things started, and the gate is open for you to go around back. When he sees you, he kind of raises a hand, and who's going to interact with Drifter? He's got a rag in his hands. He's kind of like rubbing it, grease off it or whatever.
I will.
Cool.
Do we have keys to this thing? I don't know how space cars work.
I'm feeling like it's got some kind of a remote key card kind of electronic device, so something like that.
I hand a fob over to Drifter to be like, "We returned it. Safe and sound. Not a scratch."
And he's listening to you, and he's like walking around it, like inspecting it and like, checking it out as mechanics do. And he says, "Well, sure enough, looks like it's in same condition it was when you took it last night." He opens the cargo door just to peek inside, and kind of slams it. He seems to be in relatively good cheer, good mood. He says, "Oh, how does she work for you? Reliable, isn't she?"
I just want it known that as soon as he opened the back, Elly definitely had a visceral flashback of, "We just transported a wounded guy. I really hope we cleaned up the blood back there." So that's also what Nifer just wondered. But yeah, Elly's cool on the outside and is like, "Yep, it was very good, very useful, and not any problems at all."
Fantastic. Yeah, Blinn wasn't, just to be clear, Blinn was more or less, his wounds were bound, and he wasn't like bleeding all over the place.
No, I know. It's just, that was just the gut instinct. It's like,
I love it.
I know what happened. Oh no.
That's wonderful. And so Drifter seems to be completely content with the condition. He looks to Kane and says, would you mind parking it over there in the back where I had it? I'll go in and get your credits for you.
Thank you.
He starts. Awesome.
Pardon me, Drifter. A small request, please.
Ah, yes. What can I do for you?
As dashingly handsome as this crater in my chassis makes me look, do you think you could do something about this?
So he sort of stops and as a reminder for those listening who might not be familiar, Drifter is an let's see, he is a Qualish, I think. No, wait, no, he's not. Let me correct
Hang
that.
on, I have the notes.
I know,
Hey,
right?
also, timeout. We definitely didn't start the recording.
Oh,
Zoom.
the backup recording, Zoom recording.
Oh.
Or like the video recording.
You better start that now.
So I don't know what you want to do with that.
Yeah, start it now.
Let's start the whole episode over. We already know what we're going to say. We know the sequence of events. We'll just blow right through it.
You all remember your lines,
We've got
right?
all the audio at least.
Yep. Dang it.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you might as well.
All
I
right.
should have remembered. Tech, tech issues again. It's
He's a
not-
Quarren.
Yeah, always.
This
almost like a
meeting
thank
is being
you.
recorded.
You beat
Drifter
me
is
to
a
it.
Quarren.
Awesome. So
Player
for the first third of the
notes.
episode, just have like that cat hanging on the wires, like hanging there, baby.
Or just
Something
an
like
awkward
that.
screenshot of all of us. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
true. Ty and
yeah,
Chad pointed out
nice.
we have the VOD.
Yeah.
We're so
Okay.
good at this.
yeah, and it's recording on OBS, so we're okay. But it's good to have backups to our backups. We like to have that. I could have fixed the video that I was messing up if we had the entire. It's all good. It's all in the past. So anyway, so he's a Quarren. So he's got this sort of arrow-shaped or triangular-shaped head. He's got tendrils coming down from around his
Yeah,
mouth.
because Kevin and I both did this last time.
Yes, it's like they're
That's how we need to
essentially
remember
like the derogatory term for Quarren is squid heads. So that will probably put a suitable image in your mind. And so he sort of stops and he kind of like does this interesting thing where he kind of like maybe rubs the face tendrils, and it's almost akin to like someone maybe scratching their chin. It looks like he says, "Well, I mean, I can take a look. Droids aren't really my specialty, but let's yeah, come on in. Let's see what we can do."
I will follow him in.
Okay. So he's going to lead you inside and let's see. I don't think we have an actual, let me check. I don't think we have a sheet for Drifter yet, but I will check.
Sounds like an auto crit
Nope.
success to me.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
that's what happens
I mean,
when the sheets aren't there.
y'all are funny. So
No, we're desperate,
let's see.
okay?
I mean, that is fair and reasonable. Let's see. I probably have let's see. We could probably get somewhere in here. I think we have a let's see. Let's see. So where is he? Here we go. And so he is going to do his best to help you out. So you are more than half, right? So it's a difficult challenge, if I remember correctly. You're at like 7 of 11, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
He's
So
at
he's-
7-Eleven.
That
Do we only
Yes,
get
but it is not a good time.
7-11, yeah.
Basically on death's door.
Basically. So he is going to be making a difficulty 3 check. And let me pull up dice pool. He has this skill, and it is that challenging. And he is not a droid tech. I'm going to give him a setback And that's about it, I think. Let's see what happens. Well, 2 success, 1 threat. So it heals 2 of your wounds, and he is essentially a little stressed out about it. You can tell he's like he keeps talking about. He's like, wow, not the same as working on a ship. Let me see here. No, wait, that's not the right tool. So he's like, you can tell he's a little out of his sort of comfort zone, and he is he does manage to do something for you, but it's very obviously kind of a hack job. It'll work for now, but you probably need to see a specialist. And to that end, he's going to tell you, he's like, let's see. You should go see. You should go see my friend. He'll help you out. What? Yep. Give me a half second.
You should see my friend, this NPC that I've totally known about my whole life and didn't just get created in the past 10 seconds.
Nope. It was talking about him earlier, but I need a name.
Jeff.
Space Jeff.
Space Jeff. Or Nick.
I mean,
all NPCs should be named Nick now.
Why not?
Done.
So, here we go. He says you should go see Tamar. You need to go see Tamar. Tamar will help you. Tamar Divond. He's much better with droids. In fact, he takes care of my droid for me when I've got trouble with that unit. Yeah, Tamar. I can give you his. I can tell you how to find him.
Okay, thank you.
I had to try really hard not to say, no, I need help today, not tomorrow.
I know, I also was thinking
All
of
right,
this.
all right.
By the way, we have an answer about healing for non cool droids.
Okay.
1 per day.
There you go.
It ain't gonna be
So-
fun.
It's a good thing you've got a doctor on the crew now.
I know, thank
Mhm.
goodness.
Fantastic. So he does a little bit of patchwork for you. Once that's wrapped, he's sort of like, okay, well, yeah. So I suppose I owe you your deposit back there, huh? And just give me a sec. What have Elly and Kane been doing while this was going on?
Making out. What?
I was
Cool.
parking a car, I think.
Yeah, he was parking the car.
Is
and I was
that what
just
the kids are
sitting
calling it
in-
nowadays?
It was one of those. It was a complicated sort of maneuver. It involved a several point turn, and then I had to go back and then reverse.
And I'm just leaning against the counter, just watching it.
Right. You're
Like-
trying not to, plow into the other ships in the yard and so forth.
Exactly.
I get
You
it.
guys have the most weird, intimate life I've ever heard.
I'm just yelling, "You're gonna hit it!" every once in a while.
Right on.
I know. I can see it.
The puns are literally just, you're walking
No,
right into
To
them.
your left.
If I go any further left, I'm gonna hit it.
Goodness. So
So that's what's
eventually
happening outside.
the hover truck gets yeah, exactly what's happening. Eventually the hover truck gets parked and the credits get returned to you. So he hands you back 200 credits and he looks at Elly and says, what did you need it for anyway?
We just had to move a little bit of cargo is all and couldn't wait. So we had to find somebody being very friendly and helpful.
It's ideal for that. Huh. Well, I'm glad I could help. Hey, do me a favor and tell Vosk that I'll have his parts for him in another day or so. I'm doing my best, but that
But it's-
ship's old.
It's an old ship. Yes, we understand. Thank you for all the work that you're putting in.
Brr, I'm not doing much work. Vosk is the one that's got the work cut out for him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
I think we'd best be
Yep.
off and try and find a bit more jobs just to fund Vosk's hobby at this point. So keep us in mind if you ever need anything else.
you bet. I will. And then he goes back into the shop and does his thing. And he kind of looks to Corvix and he says, sorry I couldn't do better for you there, friend. But Tamar, he'll take care of you.
Much appreciated for all of your effort, regardless.
So, you are free to go where you want. You do need to collect from Ristal.
Yes, we
At some
do.
point.
Let's do it right away, because let's get to this weird drama.
So, how do you want to go about finding her?
Should we just go back to Fairtax, because that's where she was giving a show and probably has something? I don't know.
I would
a room
concur.
there?
Corvix would think that Furtog would probably be the quickest way to get in touch with her again.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Elly gives kind of a pointed look at Kane.
You just gotta take off walking.
Uh-huh.
Beelines for Furtox.
Mhm.
Love it. So Kane, with a pep in his step, is perhaps leading the crew as they travel across the short way to Furtox. And so we enter back into Furtox Lounge. Furtox Lounge, again, is this local watering hole where you and many other space crew go. You'll see all different types of individuals, including the owner, which is, of course, Furtok. Furtok is an older female Wookiee. She is very well respected, powerful, and apparently a seasoned warrior in her own right, as known by the fact that she has a bowcaster she keeps behind the bar that has many, many, many notches on the stock. And so she is gray, her fur is graying, but she's always seems to be in a generally cheerful mood, except when people are fighting in her bar. And she pretty much has no tolerance for that, as you all know. Now, that being said, when you arrive, it's pretty early in the morning, but lo and behold, Furtok is actually at the bar. There's only about 1 or 2 patrons in here right now, and it's as it is early in the day, but people have different schedules, so there's a couple people having a drink or some food or what have you. But considering the events of the previous evening, where there was some like live music, which was a little bit of a different atmosphere for the bar, it's sort of not that unusual that it's a little less populated at the moment. So she sees you when you walk in.
It's like 11 a.m. on a Monday right now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Space
Well,
Monday.
Kane, you're in front. How you gonna do this?
Are you? I just want to clarify for a second that Corvix is actually insinuating that Rizzy is a Monday day dancer. I just want to clarify.
Sunday night.
No, Sunday night.
I said.
I thought he said
night.
it was Monday.
Well, it's the day after. There's no one
I'm
in the
thinking
bar
it's
right
more like
now.
a Sunday afternoon, but that's just me.
I just want to clarify.
Regardless, it's early and there's not a lot of people in the bar when you open the door.
Perfect.
Also, I'm very confused on if you want to get back together with her or not. I'm very confused.
We'll never know.
Oh, apparently Corvix gains 1.
Yes.
Heals
Droids
1.
gain 1 too.
So there you go. So you're your rest session was effective, so you should be down by you should be at 4 of 11.
Hey,
No,
6 of
excuse me.
11.
Well, you got healed 2 by Drifter.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Plus
so,
1
yeah,
overnight, so 4 of 11. Hey, that's better than 7 of 11. So, and now, so Ferdok kind of gives you a wave when she sees you come in. She's cleaning up the bar and doing her usual
Can we get a round of
duties.
drinks for a talk?
It's
been a
11
long-
in the morning.
Well, we had a long day yesterday. I could use a drink.
Ferdok
All right,
sort
fine.
of-
Just the one then.
Yep. You say round of drinks as if there's more than like 2 people who can actually benefit from drinking.
right.
Corvix, you want to try a drink?
I do like to hold them.
Elly
All
just
right.
kind of makes a very incredulous face.
2 drinks and a blue milk for the kid.
Hey, look at that. Thanks for using the channel points. We appreciate that. We're going to add some cool fun stuff for the channel in the future here. I've been brainstorming and thinking about how we can do that. So we appreciate you, Last HP Hero. So Fear Dog brings over some drinks and sets them on the table, even if it's just some. She adds some water in there as well. So there's like a couple of waters, a couple of a Corellian ale because she knows that's what Kane likes to drink, and probably brings something more, exciting, dynamic, fruity something for Elly. So, more adventurous.
So I imagine
Can I just get like a protein shake because it's early in the
absolutely
morning?
anything
blue
you
milk
want.
and protein.
She-
So I imagine that Corvix, like, he's been in Vakea for a little while, and he's not a stranger to Furtogs. He does like to have a drink in hand to fit in when he's socializing.
I'm sorry, but that's so sad.
That's so
Furtog,
cool.
Furtog probably knows not to just pour an empty glass of like expensive alcohol or anything for him. So he may just have like dirty water.
You have a cup of water.
You have a
Great.
glass of water. That's essentially what she gives you.
But
And
at
she
least he
even-
gets to fit in.
She even puts like one of those little umbrellas in there for to make it.
I just need art of Corvix in a Hawaiian shirt with a fruity umbrella now.
Totally.
I'm just gonna make one of those like dress up dolls of Corvix. You can put like the Life Day sweater on him. You can put the Hawaiian shirt on him. It's gonna be so good.
right.
Can I put googly eyes on him?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
So
he probably wouldn't notice for a while.
Oh gosh. Oh, we're gonna.
But
Oh.
because of the face hole, they
Face
got to go on
googly
either
eyes.
side, so he ends up looking like a Mon Calamari.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's too much.
all right.
iPad, I'm
all right.
making this art right now.
So, seeing as how it's slow, Fear Talk kind of like hangs out at the booth with you for a minute after she brings the drinks over. She gets you the protein drink, the ale for Kane, and some water with an umbrella for Fear Talk or for Corvix, and then she just kind of she casually says, "So how did everything go last night?"
I just kind of point to the dent in Corvix's chest.
Yeah, he'll also gesture and just be like, "Very well."
I mean, for the most part, just a big shrug.
We did the job. You know us. It's not always clean.
But we were successful, so do you happen to know where our business associate would be?
Well, it's a bit early still. They were playing music pretty late last night. I imagine she'll probably be back around here shortly, but yeah, I haven't seen her yet. I figured y'all could finish the job. I'm glad you didn't disappoint me. Makes me look good, and you know how I like that.
We'll always get you. Also, I would just like to point out, we were also up late and we're still here, so what excuse does she have?
You
I
know
just
the
growled a
life
little
of
bit.
performers. And she kind of like shrugs her, her big Wookiee hands up in the air as if like, who knows?
I do
And
a very, very big eye roll.
And before Kane can catch himself, he interjects as well. Plus, Rizzy's always been a late riser.
I
Fear
just kind
Talk
of look
looks
very
at
pointedly.
and Fear Talk is doing the same thing to Elly. Like, what is this?
And
Kane will
Corvix
take a drink.
swishes the water in his glass a little bit.
Just the like empty straw noise from Corvix. Just
Does Corvix make sound effects of
I
drinking?
love Corvix so much.
He just kind of like looks down and he's just like,
Oh, goodness. Oh, it's too good, too good.
I love a good X drama.
Mm-hmm. All right. So then, so she says, I could call her if you want. Maybe
Yes,
she's
you
up.
should.
Sure.
Corvix will look to Kane and he'll say, given by my assumed history between you and Ristal, do you know where she might be staying in town?
I'm not sure where she'd be staying here. Like, have we? I know it's not a very big little town. Like, would it be pretty apparent where she would be staying? Like, not even having any sort of background.
Do we know the big hotels?
Like, there's got to be one.
There's a good Best Western and there's a bad Best Western in town. Which one would she stay at?
The good Best Western, obviously.
Of course. I
can't imagine there's two hotels.
Yeah, let's give me
I
like
think there's probably,
Streetwise, or I
there's
would also
probably-
accept Outer Rim if you have your knowledge Outer Rim. That's sort of no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, Streetwise is the best.
Yeah. I think there's probably one hotel and then like an abandoned building that a lot of people use as a hotel.
It's set for you.
Nice. All right, this is gonna go well. Yeah.
You've got you can make something up, but Kane has no idea.
Make something up. See how long we believe your BS.
Not
With
100%
one
sure,
failure and 2
Corvix. My rendezvous with her happened outside of this place, but I can tell you this: like, you'll definitely know the place she's staying. You'll see it a mile away.
I would like for your 2 threat to be strained from just the daggers Elly is glaring at you when you say rendezvous.
100%.
Approved. He starts to sweat a little bit.
Good.
It's like,
Good.
So, someone comes in through the door. Fairtalk excuses herself, says, "I'll calm her in just a minute," and then goes over to like help the new customer.
So if we end up waiting for a while to receive our payment, do we have any idea how we can fill our day, so to speak?
well, this is how I plan on filling my day. I don't know about you all.
Well, I
As he takes another.
do have a message waiting for me, and we all have a message waiting for all of us back at the ship of the previous job from our previous friends. And I just kind of like look significantly at Kane because I don't want to say spying on the Imperial compound from Kai and Shay. Because we got that
Drink
offer.
swish.
Drink swish.
Drink swish is the best reaction.
Look, Elly, you're being pretty obvious about it. I think even Corvix is picking up what you're putting down. Looks at Corvix.
Drink swish.
Or maybe not.
I may not have photoreceptors, but I'm not blind.
I'm pretty sure we haven't told him what our previous job was. Is all like that's the only reason why I'm not directly saying it, because
Might as well.
we don't need to be overheard in
Corvix
place.
can kind of see like Elly trying to
Yes.
dance around this thing, and like Kane also trying to like kind of not directly address this thing, and they're not exactly subtle about it. So
We
Corvix
don't
will
need
just
to be, as long as nobody knows that we are the people that are responsible for blowing up the Imperial compound, okay?
it's a pretty empty bar.
You didn't
and
blow it
Corvix-
up. You're super not. That was the Huts.
No, we were there when it got
Yes,
blown up.
This is true.
Corvix will just say, look, you're not the only sentients in the galaxy that are trying to avoid Imperial entanglements, so to say. And, you know, I'm not about to rat you out to the Empire. That's not who I am. That's not what I stand for. I have no love for them either.
What if I told you you could make a significant amount of money?
I was already on your side, but money is definitely my language these days.
No, what if I told you you could make a significant amount of money ratting us out to the Empire?
Oh, I would say that it sort of goes against my programming, who I am. The Empire stands for a lot of things that I stand against, so anything that works against them works for me.
That's the first sensible thing you've said since I met you.
I may not make a whole lot of sense as a whole, but I know injustice when I see it. I've lived it, and I am very much against it on a galactic scale.
I think you're gonna fit in here. And Kane like kind of looks around.
Corvix will clink his glass against Kane's, and he'll say, I wouldn't have accepted the crew position otherwise.
Fair. So you know that Imperial compound on the edge of town?
I'm passingly familiar.
Did
You
hear
heard what
about-
happened to it?
No, the comm chatter news has been somewhat lacking of excitement lately. Even the most basic reports have been sort of stifled.
Doesn't
Well-
surprise me. Empire's definitely trying to hide what happened there.
It was pretty exciting up close.
I take it that you were present then.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, they're still fixing their front door.
And restoring power, I think.
Did you blow something up?
We didn't, but we were present when things were blown up. And we may have been seen, so we're not keen on going back again soon. However,
Well-
we have been offered a job to relay information about anything that happens in there if we see anything. So
You said you were seen.
That's probably one
yes.
word for it.
Uh,
Shot at, more likely.
Forgive me if I'm overstepping, but as a new crew member to your ship, are you not worried about overstaying your welcome in Vikea? If the Imperials are looking for you, they do have a presence here.
I mean, if we were looking not to get noticed, I wouldn't be on the crew at all. I don't know if you heard the bounty hunters back at the crash site, but I'm kind of not the most unrecognizable.
Basically, if you put a bunch of names of organizations up on a dartboard and you blindly threw a dart, odds are you're going to hit somebody who's after us. Not a lot of safe places left in this galaxy.
I do believe I understand, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm increasing your odds any by joining the crew. The Pikes don't exactly love me.
Oh, nice. I stole property from one of the heads of the Black Suns, so good to meet you.
And what about you, Kane? Which criminal organization have you run afoul of?
It's a long story for another time, but
Oh, come on. We're all sharing.
let's just say I'm no friend of the Empire. Takes a
so
swig.
the biggest criminal organization. What a lively bunch we make.
Feartalk comes back by the table and says, I sent a message. Ristal says she'll be here as soon as she can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that means probably sometime today, but don't count on it.
Drink
She
swish.
She kind of laughs her Wookiee laugh and then walks away from the table. Let me know if you need anything.
Another ale would be great.
She brings one over shortly.
Nice.
Perhaps we could find it in our busy schedule to visit Tamar sometime today and get this hole fixed.
Yes, if we're supposed to wait on a whim of somebody who's being this lazy, I guess, might as well spend our time doing something useful. So sure, let's go.
I just fine. And he like
You
pounds his
don't have
beer
to
back.
You can wait for her.
Sets it on the table. No, it's already gone. He finished it immediately.
It's too late. I already chugged it.
He'll
I'm
oh, go ahead.
I imagine that Vikea, like the entire city, is like an open entertainment district where you could just walk and drink anyways.
Just take
Probably.
the mug. Furtak, we'll be back. We're just gonna take this to go.
Right?
Put a lid on it.
I mean, we've established that they are like wooden or plastic or some probably some kind of whatever.
Yeah, we get served
Star
with the
Wars
plastic
plastic
kinds
is.
after the first fight that we had.
Plasteel.
Yep.
Exactly. So
Well, as we head out the door, Kane, now having a few drinks, is feeling a bit more lively. So he'll
Okay.
put his arm around Corvix
Oh,
as
no.
they shuffle out. He's like, getting kind of jealous of you. Like when I got a hole in the side of me, it's a lot more urgent. I could get used to this.
I would trade you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We'll saunter on out. Did I ever
Okay.
tell you about that mission I took in Ryloth?
We've
No,
known
it
him
hasn't.
for 2 days. Of course you haven't told him.
It hasn't slipped in the 12 hours that you've known me. So go ahead, tell me about it. I'm actually very interested to hear about it.
Oh, that was just as we were walking out the door. That's the last thing you hear, kind of thing. Yeah.
Scene
No,
fade.
no.
I don't have to tell you anything.
exactly. That was there's no story here.
So the idea, just so I'm clear, the idea is to go find Tamar first and then come back and meet Ristal.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, if
gonna
we
make
have
us
the
wait.
sort of
We're gonna make her
a
wait.
She's
Dead
gonna be
zone
a
in our
while.
day.
I mean, that seems reasonable to me.
Kane is welcome to stay and wait for her, but I'm not going to.
All
I'm
right.
not petty. Shut up. I don't feel threatened. It's fine.
That's good.
All right. So sure. So you head out and you go to find where Drifter said this Tamar is. And Tamar is where did he go? Let me pull up my info. Hey, bear with me. Hold on. I'm checking. Oops. I did it again. I'm fixing it. I promise. Let's see.
Greg did it again.
Yeah. Oh, God. Don't go there.
Thanks,
We are
Kev.
we are the worst.
It's okay. All is forgiven. Shoot. I thought, okay. Nope. I got to check somewhere else. Hold on. I'm trying to find my NPC notes. Just bear with me.
It's okay. The NPC's name is Space Nick.
We know
It's fine.
space name. Here we go.
Space Nick, he's a human. He looks like long hair and a beard and glasses. And he's very
Cybernetic
helpful.
glasses.
And he's very, very helpful. And
Said
he gives
no
us
one
exactly
ever.
what we want for no charge. The end. Yay. Look, there is a rule on one of my other games that if I say something 3 times, it becomes canon. If I can get it in before you find the actual ruling.
Yeah, right.
it's
Okay,
canon.
so let's ask the chat. Since we have a chat, give me a race from the Star Wars universe that you would like to see.
I'm not chat. Never mind.
is the
Yeah,
part
but
where we
we're
find-
in chat.
This is the part where we find out the chat has all left.
Nobody's there.
They're all bots.
We're just waiting for
which
the delay.
makes it a droid.
Devronian.
If you guys,
I mean,
you guys give me a second, I'll text Julia and tell her to type in Devronian.
yeah, you know, you already. All right, we can make it.
Too
a
late.
Devronian.
Chat already said
You guys
droid.
are just all right.
Seal said
Chagrian.
Gungan.
Chagrian.
And technically,
I love
he's
it.
chat.
That is the first one that it came up that wasn't.
Us. Thanks.
Yeah, punks. So, sure, there's a Chagrian. Chagrians are they have two horns coming straight up out of their head. They're blue-gray skinned. They also have sort of like these protuberances that come down around their where their
they're
ears would
the Senate
be.
aide.
Yeah,
from
you see them in the
the third
Senate
one.
exactly, and then they have the two kind of same horns that same
Tendrils.
material, same like yes. Thank you, Lottie Star. We appreciate that very much. So
Ty, you're
yes,
cool.
so he's a Chagrian.
Masameta.
And so you go to his shop, and when you enter, it's pretty obvious it's a droid shop because there's like there's like droids. There's a droid standing outside, and it's just doing this. Like that's all it is. It's not even a full droid. It's just like a mock-up of a droid.
It's like a wacky waving inflatable
It's like-
arm flailing
it's
droid
really
man.
Tube man.
It totally is, and it's obviously very much a sort of tongue-in-cheek kind of stupidity of somebody having fun. So when you walk in, the shop is it's one of those shops where it's strangely immaculate, but there's so much stuff. Like it's clean, but there's parts and pieces, and like you can see servos, and you can see like just all kinds of different modifications. There's eyeballs and hands and like things like you would use to fix a droid, but everything is like super organized, clean and tidy, and there is a desk, like almost like a workbench table that it has components and things laid out, and the individual looking down at it hears you enter the shop, and he looks up and he says, "Ah, welcome. Oh," when he sees Corvix, his like eyes kind of light up.
Yes, clearly I'm coming in here for some service. Do you think perhaps you could help me with some minor repairs?
He stands up from his stool and walks over to you. He says, "Wow, well, friend, C0RVX, what model are you?"
This is a little embarrassing, but I'm not exactly sure.
Does that really affect how you're gonna fix him?
Fix him? What seems to be the problem? I mean, I can fix any droid, but what's wrong? Apparently, he doesn't notice the huge hole in your chest.
Just this today, I think. This hole in my chassis.
Oh, of course. That's I thought maybe something was wrong with your circuitry. You don't know what your model is. Fascinating.
Well, as you know, droids tend to be the victim of memory wipes from time to time, and I am unaware of my extended history, so to say. So just the chassis today.
Well, I can help you with that, of course. And if you are interested in perhaps retrieving said memory banks. Perhaps I can help you with that. Just give me a moment. And he's like gonna walk away, and essentially he's gonna get like an emergency repair kit, functionally. But I'm gonna make a roll and see if maybe he even has what you really need.
I'm gonna lean over to Kane at this point and be like, "You should see if he can handle R3 and get him out of the ship."
Why? Droid's pretty useful.
Yeah, but like, no.
While he's getting looking for his repair kit, Corvix will turn to Kane and Elly, and he'll just like lean in and say, "Just the chassis, not the memory. He might take it more seriously coming from you than from me, but help me."
Okay.
Yeah, of course. What happened to the memory?
It's gone, and I am who I am now. I'm not interested in who I was.
Yeah, some people don't want to go back to where they came from, okay?
Look, if anyone understands that, it's definitely me.
All right, Corvix, give me high or low.
Hi.
Okay. A few moments pass, and he sort of went to like a side room. Essentially, it's like attached still to the main area, but it was, think of it like a store, almost like a storage closet, and you can see there's like several of them around the space, where each one seems to have like different types of components and that. So think of like if you ever been into like an O'Reilly's or Napa Auto Parts or some kind
or
of a shop
anybody's
like that.
house who got a label maker for Christmas.
Something like that, but like where there's like these bays or rows of, you know, components and parts and pieces. It's essentially something like that. So he comes back a few moments later and he says, well, you're in luck. Look what I found. And you can see he's actually got like essentially the same piece that would fit your chest. It's not the exact color, but he says to you, he's like, I tell you what, if you want, I can match your chassis. You don't have to stick with this one. And the one he's handing you would be like, it's sort of this like gray blue. It's a little more muted than your kind of like rust orange.
That's all very well and good, but we are unfortunately strapped for credits at this point, so we probably don't have a lot of extras for modifications or any extras, just so you know. And
yes, just the chassis should be fine. Even in its current state, I think it will be acceptable.
Your enthusiasm is very appreciated, though. And they smile.
Awesome. Let me check.
Do I have to persuade him to shut up now?
I gotta look for prices. Give me a moment. Excuse me. Carry on. Talk amongst yourself while I look this up.
I personally think that Corvix is going to look great with a little blue belly button. It's going to be awesome.
Corvix agrees. He doesn't say it out loud, but he also is into the idea of just being like a mismatched, weird, unique color combination that stands out in a crowd.
Look, we can make that happen without you having to get yourself hurt. We still have spray paint from when we changed the name of the ship in the flashback. It's fine. We got you.
Who is good with spray paint? Like
I am good with spray paint.
I may be uncertain on who I trust to spray paint me.
Okay, have you seen the art of the ship? I spray painted that. It's canon.
If Kane does it, he's just going to leave a lot of like graffiti on Corvix's body. Probably poorly done graffiti too, non-artistic.
If Kane does it,
there's going to be like those little splotches. Like he's gotten too close on a few of them.
Mustache, googly eyes, maybe like a couple of phallic symbols here and there on the droid.
Chat, what graffiti would you put on Corvix?
Quick, while he's not looking.
So he is he's holding this plate. He says, well, I can do the repair for you. It's 125 credits. Sound fair?
That sounds a little high.
I'm gonna pull out 75 out of my bag as if it's all that we got, and just kind of like hold it out in a "it's all that we've got" face.
All right. So give me a negotiation. It will be opposed. Negotiation is what? Is it intellect or I'm forgetting?
I don't know. I
will check.
Hang on. Let me check my character sheet to tell you what it should be first.
Presence. Okay. So
I'm okay with that.
So it's gonna be all right. So it'll be opposed. You'll be rolling against. I'm gonna use the dark side point and say he doesn't like to haggle.
Okay, well, you know what?
Oops, I just think I clicked the wrong thing. Dang it! Did I just click?
You took it away from us.
That was a mistake.
How dare you?
I used the wrong sheet. Apology. Let me do 1, 2. So ignore the second one. But so he's gonna use one to bump this, and I'm going to use one to bump this and say he doesn't like to haggle.
But I do like to haggle, so I'm also going to bump it.
Nice. Go for it.
And
you're feeling the force and your abilities flow.
No, I just really like negotiating and don't want to spend money.
Go for it. It's ready.
Okay, so I have to upgrade on my sheet and roll negotiation. Come on, baby. Oh, no.
Oh, good gravy.
Oh, no.
It costs us so much more.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a terrible roll. Let's talk about what happened.
That's the first time I've seen a despair, let alone
I have 4 advantage and 2 despair. Oh, no.
Well,
and 2 failures.
2 failures are part of the despair, though, because
I got you.
Yeah, because there was no success. But still, so
this doesn't. I can't tell if this dice pool looks right, anyways.
He's a rival. He's only got 2 cunning, so 1 purple, 1 red, and then I threw in a red. I probably should have made it a setback, but whatever. We're still learning and getting used to this stuff, and
so much better.
This. I mean,
to be fair, this individual probably wheels and deals with people trying to con him out of repairs and costs and stuff every single day, all day. It's what he does for a living. So.
But now I have to shamefacedly reach into my other pocket and pull out more money.
Corvix does have 80 credits to his name to kick into
precious.
So, do you want to give me one of the despair at least?
Price gouge.
I mean, that's gonna be a big part of it.
Yeah, I think that's the go-to is like, hey, I was already cutting you a deal, so.
And then he also takes Corvix's leg.
He like damages Corvix while he's doing the repair.
I
wouldn't be that mean since Corvix didn't make the roll.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, no, a lot of the things. Don't you dare!
Ouch! That's terrible.
You rude person.
I'm just throwing ideas out there for the despair. Don't hate on me for it.
Okay, well now I don't feel so bad for feeling like my instinct is that he would mess something up during the installation on purpose. But I don't want to do that to Kev for Kev's character. I don't want to hurt Kev's character for me.
Look, I'm here for the story. If I get thrown out of the best for the sake of a despair, so be it.
For the sake of 2 despairs.
So be it.
You're such a good person, but we're not going to do that to you.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to hurt a droid.
So
then you shouldn't have rolled 2 despairs.
I'm sorry.
So he's gonna he sort of bristles. He obviously bristles. He gets a little upset. He's like, "Now look, I thought we were starting off on a good foot, but listen, friends, you can't roll me. I'm not that kind of person. And no, 125 is more than fair. But you know what? I think it's gonna be 150."
I don't know. It seems like kind of a steep price there. The color doesn't even match what he's got on.
I offered to change the color, didn't I? Are you working for the Empire? Are you thugs? Who do you work for? The Hutts? The Black Sun?
I'm sorry. We're not being nice to you, so we must be part of the Empire? Really? That's what you're going with?
Could be anybody. I don't know. But only scum like that try to get one over on Tamarin. You should know. I'm one of the best there is, or at least the best there is in this sector of the galaxy.
Oh, wonder that we only had to hear of you today. If you're the best.
My friend, listen. I apologize for any perceived slight against you. I assure you that wasn't our intention. We work for ourselves. We're independent contractors, so to speak. I have 80 credits here, and I'm receiving a payment later for a job well done, and I can promise you an extra 150 if we just forget any offenses that happened and go about our business as usual.
Give me a charming check. I'm gonna give you a boost
eyes at him.
because he's still a rival, so that's one purple, one blue. But I'm gonna give you
one purple, one.
Sorry, one purple, one red. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Is there any way that I could make this a negotiation instead of a charm? I'm offering to pay him later.
Sure, yeah, you're offering to pay
more
him
later.
That's completely fair. Completely fair. Yeah, add a boost because he's fascinated because you're somewhat rare. Like it seems like he's never encountered your model, make, whatever before or whatever. He's familiar, but seems a little fascinated by that, and the opportunity to work on your, person is exciting to him, I guess. So that's a boost. So it's ready when you are.
Should I use a light side point?
Yes. Do it.
You got this.
Yeah.
I used the light side point. I'm going to upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, no. I need to stop saying oh, no so much.
No.
Wow.
Look what we've done.
The
this
dice
NPC
are... Wait. That's not right. That's not right. It was not supposed to be 2 red. I reset it, but it didn't reset. So roll it again. Scratch that roll.
Goodness.
That roll doesn't count. Make sure you're not upgraded on your page. You should only have an upgrade on the left. No, you shouldn't. You should have a boost and whatever your skill is.
Why the boost?
Because I gave him a boost.
Oh, I missed that part.
Because I
don't know if I unmuted myself, but I upgraded the wrong side, so that was 100%.
Oh, yeah, so there should be no upgrade.
Cool.
And so there's no upgrade. You just add a boost.
Then I rolled mine.
Oh, because he... Oh, right. I forgot.
Yeah,
you're right.
I used the light side, but when I upgraded it, I upgraded the dark side, not
Got
the
it.
light side.
I see what happened. So you should be rolling 2 yellows plus a blue. So please fix that and then re-roll. Okay, that's a little better.
There we go. This time, Corvix rolled a success and a threat.
So he pauses and he kind of like, it looks like he's thinking for a moment. He says, 180 credits, and we re-enter our association.
Yes, the extra 100 credits will have to come later in the day, but I can leave this here as a insurance that I will be coming back, and I will hand him the blaster that Corvix is replacing, so it doesn't actually matter in the long run, but he doesn't know that.
Right. Just a blaster pistol.
Right, his what was it? Let's see.
I don't like this guy.
You're muted, bud.
Okay.
All right, I clicked out of the window. His GL-77 blaster pistol, he will leave as a sort of a down payment or insurance that he is going to come back later.
So he's like, put it on the counter or put it on the desk, table, whatever. That. Gregory did that. He did it.
Put it on that.
Yeah.
Put
it over there.
on the thing.
Put the thing there. Yeah, that.
And
Don't put your thing there.
take a seat. I'll get started right away. I need a little bit of time. Are you two going to stay around or...
I sulk in the corner actively.
I'm gonna stand pretty close guard, like uncomfortably close to this guy,
Ooh,
Sure.
yeah.
with my arms crossed.
Sure.
I also have my arms crossed.
I
We're
love
just
it.
two angsty people.
Right. So he sets about, like you can see, he's got a pretty good set of skills. His tools are, again, everything is sort of very well organized, in good condition, and he really seems to know exactly what he's doing. It doesn't take him very long to remove the chest plate. But let's see what happens. You are at average now because you're
Less than half damage.
Yeah, you're at half damage, right?
I'm at 4 of 11.
Less.
So
You're
below
less.
half.
You're less than half. Okay. I'm flipping a dark side because he's still a little pissed off, and I want to give you light sides back. Here we go.
Fair.
All right, so it's only 2 advantages. So what happens that the repair is not entirely successful?
What do you mean the repair wasn't successful?
He gets halfway through and he's like, huh. I'm thinking that the plate wasn't the right model. Like
Maybe
thought
he's
it was,
able
but
to. Maybe he's able to attach the chassis, but any damage that was done underneath the chassis, he didn't fix.
Okay.
I was gonna say he just put it in upside down.
So let's see. You got 2 advantage. So I'm gonna say this. Let's do it a little differently. It takes him like 3 times longer than it should. He takes it off. Hold on a second, because I don't want to blast everybody's ear, but I have to cough.
A mood.
Sorry about that. He takes it off and he thinks it's going to be a quick, like, basically thinks he's just going to have to like swap it out real quick. But it turns out that like some of the bolts that would keep it secured were stripped. So he has to go and replace those. Then he goes and he can't screw them in because the threads are not, they're stripped. So he's got to like tap the new thread. So it's like the whole he explains everything he's doing as he's doing it, and is like giving you almost like a play by play, like, oh, this should have been done in like just a short few moments, but okay, well, I guess it's going to take a little while. And so he is going to go about this, but it's literally, you're there for like 3 hours before he can finally get things secured in place. Then he's like,
I mean, it's not like we're really waiting on Ristal. So it's probably fine.
So
this guy called himself the best in like the sector. Come on.
Yeah, we are leaving him a terrible review. 1 star.
One
he's
star
distracted.
on his star Yelp.
He was distracted and frustrated. So
1 star on Mechanic Yelp.
The dice were not in favor. It's the same thing when Vosk tried, because Vosk has very good mechanics and the dice were just not in your favor.
Okay, but
nobody
Vosk
can fix this droid.
Vosk does other good things, so his
Vosk
rating
does-
is better.
That is true. So eventually
to be fair,
he gets
he
it
is
done.
a pretty unique model.
He says, one last insurance that you actually come back with the 100 credits. I'll change the color when you come back. So you currently have a blue chest plate.
I will agree to that before we leave, but Corvix kind of wants to keep the blue.
Cool. I love
Yes,
it.
because this performance has very much instilled in us a belief that insurance is something we trust. And I just kind of motioned to the time.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we're not too late to actually earn the credits that I had promised you.
Yes, it would be shame if this time was costing our money.
Kane's
What
still
can I
right
say?
behind
You can't foresee the future. You can't. You don't know what the problem is until you uncover the problem. And I didn't expect to have. Anyway, I did my best.
Sleemo.
I just give a dubious, judgy look and then turn around and leave.
I will protocol droid shuffle.
Protocol droid shuffle, and then you cut out.
Out the door.
Okay, super. So you all
Kane,
head back.
I really hope you're joining our entourage. How do you angstily leave, Kane? You need to describe it.
Oh, he just leaves.
Oh, okay.
But in a huff.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave with emotion.
No, he just leaves.
It is like shakes his head, walks out.
It's more terrifying because you don't know what he's thinking, you know.
This is true.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
oh, is he mad?
We do like your passive resting scary face.
Indeed.
Can I request this as a decent place to maybe take a mid-show break?
You were reading my mind. I was just
Cool.
about to say, as you all exit and the door kind of closes behind you, the scene fades. And indeed, bear with us, friends. We're going to take a short intermission, probably just about 5 minutes. We will be right back, and we will see you then. Please stay with us.
See you soon.
Hello, and thank you for your patience. We are all refreshed, and now the crew is just getting back to Fair Talks Lounge. There are a few more people in here at this point, including one, Ristal Sant. Ristal
yay.
Sant is, again, she is, oh, wait, notes. I should have that open first. Ristal Sant is a Theline hybrid. Now, what a Theline looks like is essentially she has pale skin, but she wears very, very interesting makeup. She has like amazingly vibrant red hair. It's almost like a neon red hair.
Okay,
and
we get it. She's pretty.
she's got spikes that kind of come out of where her temples would be. She has been known to travel with the Max Rebo band and is currently here on Socorro playing in Vakea, and gave y'all the job to go find Blinn and get his shipment and hopefully get him, which you did. She sees the lot of you come in, and as soon as she sees you, her face lights up. She like jumps out of her chair and comes rushing over to you. In fact, she comes right over to you, Elly, and she says, "Oh, there you are, you dears." And she's looking from one to the next of you. She's like,
I give
I'm
a
so
very
grateful.
forced smile.
I'm so grateful. I just checked in on Blinn. He's doing surprisingly well. The doctors think that, with luck, there's a chance they might even be able to help him walk again without the need for any cybernetics. Isn't that wonderful news?
Yes, that is very wonderful. You know what else would be really wonderful? If you could pay us and we could get on our way.
Of course. She looks over and to Furtalk and says, Furtalk, do you mind? And she kind of points back towards the office. Furtalk just like waves a hand and keeps talking with the people she's serving. So Ristal, she's got her hands like grasping Elly's essentially in that way, and like, oh, come. And then
That's okay. You can just pay us out here and we'll be on our way. I don't think there's any need to.
She
head back
stops
to the
and
room.
just says, "Well, if you wish to give me the cold shoulder, that's fine, but I do have more work if you're interested."
I'm always
Yes,
interested
didn't
in
you
more
want
credits.
to catch up, Kane? And I just kind of turned towards him.
So she's now looking at you all like,
You seemed very excited to get back here earlier. I don't see why you wouldn't be interested in staying longer.
I was excited to get paid so we could be on our way. That's all.
But perhaps we could get paid more if we follow her into the office.
Corvix wants to follow her, I guess. It's lead the way, Corvix.
she's kind of like just shaking her head at the group of you, like the awkwardness of the moment.
I just walk.
Yeah.
I walk into the office.
She just turns and does the same. So you all get back into the office, and so she, as soon as she gets in there, she's already like reaching into her little purse or whatever she has, and takes out several credit sticks and places them in your hands. Just as a reminder, she basically gave you 1,500 credits, so 500 credits each.
That's so many credit sticks.
And you do know that some of that needs to go to repair the ship, but sorry. Anyways, as I was saying, so she says, so she looks at you and she says, she makes, once the door is shut, she says, yes, poor Blinn, it'll take a while for his recovery, but I'm really thrilled to find out that you saved his life. It's very commendable. Fairtalk wasn't wrong about you, I can see.
Well, we do our best to try and leave things in a better situation than we find them.
So it would seem. Well, I mentioned I do know of perhaps 2 other bits of information you might be interested, jobs you might be interested in taking. Would you like to hear about them?
I don't think that we'd be in this office if we weren't, so go on.
At least not with the 2 of them.
So, I've heard a rumor that
you shot your friend in the foot. Sorry. Umbrella Academy.
I've heard a rumor that... No, that's not right. I'm sorry. I'm giving you the wrong information from the wrong person. That's not what she says. What she says
I've heard no rumors.
What she says is, well, for the first one, I'd like to put you in contact with an associate of mine. You can call him a client. His name is Rincana. He's a Petrolean, and well, he's a quirky sort. Loves droids, loves fixing things, loves building things, and that's the nature of his type. His species, they're rather intelligent, and well, technology is, I suppose, one of their fortes. Anyway, he's got a job of that might suit your interest, and she's looking at Corvix when she says that. Then she says, "Oh, go ahead."
I was gonna say, I look at Corvix and be like, "We could have used that earlier."
Yes, I still am looking for some repairs, so definitely keep that one in mind. But go ahead, Ristal.
She says, the other one, honestly, I'm not entirely sure there's any money in it, and actually it's kind of a rumor. I've heard that the Alliance wants the Zagirian slave trade, which is believed to be based in an Imperial slave labor mine on the planet of Savarkos, shut down. I don't know if there's any pay to be had, but doing a good deed for the Alliance, maybe there's some payback to be had. I don't know. It's a little bit outside of my normal routine and my normal clientele. In fact, they're not even really clientele, but I don't know. It just, when I heard the rumor, it struck me as something that might interest you all.
Well, where have you been that you've been hearing such rumors?
Well, I can't divulge all of my sources. What good would I be then?
A very talkative friend.
Corvix gets very quiet even for him.
Was it something I said?
I just kind of I had looked pointedly at Kane when I said friend.
There's this strange silence.
I'm sure I speak for the group, but I think we're mostly interested in jobs that one, either pay or two, are gonna fix our ship.
It's true, we can't go on very long distances right now because we are needing to repair the ship that we take on long distances.
Oh dear. Well, that might be a problem. Perhaps you can work something out. I don't know all the details, but my job's just to make the connection. Perhaps Rincana can help you, or maybe he can I don't know, work something out. I guess that's yours to figure out, but in the meantime, well, here's his information. And like once again, she sort of pulls up her data pad and shares the contact. Yep. Shares the screen with you or what have you, shares the information.
I would love if you also tapped the screen because right now all I have is Rink Petroleum. Job? ? So I would love better notes.
What would you like to know?
Loves droids, fixing, building things. He's a techno lover.
So what I'm hearing is that Kevin wrote down Corvix's man crush.
I wrote something similar to that down.
Yep, there it is.
It's just a heart with little hearts around it.
Look, it's okay. That's what the player notes look like about Kane too. It's fine. The player has more of a crush than the character, but it's fine.
So I can give you like his name spelling. Is that what you're looking for?
That. Yes.
Wait. Let me double. Oh, shoot, I might have done that wrong. There we go. It is right here. There you go. Rinkanna. Rincana.
I was only 3 letters off.
I was short.
Perfect.
1 in.
There you go. And he is, as mentioned, he is
petroleum jelly.
Petrolean. I'm gonna link.
Oh, like patrol, not petrol. Okay.
Not petrol with an E, patrol with an A. Here, I'll put.
It looks like a Disney bad guy.
Twitch chat there for anyone that's interested. Petrolians are these highly intelligent Piscean amphibious sentient species. Piscean meaning fish-like,
that's a fish
right?
Guy.
Yeah. So they're not incredibly tall. Average height's only 1 meter. So again, sort of the size of like the Lannick was. But they have this like purpley pink skin. They have like gill-like fins around their. It almost looks like a beard, but it's actually fins. And they apparently have this affinity for technology. And again, they're highly intelligent. So. You would all probably know this. They generally, again, their skin color is generally somewhere between blue, purple, or even green.
Mm-hmm.
Their eyes are red, and they do have a tail. Cool. It's like a little fishy tail. That's kind of cool.
Can't wait. We're going to accidentally step on it because we're going to all roll despairs again because this session has been terrible. So looking forward to it.
Look,
Exactly.
if we're gonna have any session where multiple of us roll despairs, I want it to be the RP session.
For sure.
It's true.
Better than in the middle of combat. This is probably true. And I got to get better at figuring out how to use them. So yeah, they're from Petrolia. They speak Galactic Basic like everyone. That's about what you probably want to know about him. And this is your contact. She tells you where to find him. And then she basically says,
Get out.
I'll be around for about a week. If I hear of anything else, you'll be the first to know.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Before, as everyone's getting ready to leave the office, Corvix will just say, "A moment, please, Ristal."
Yes.
Do Kane and Elly stick around, or do they get out of here?
Yeah, no, I mean, unless you're specifically telling us to leave.
I think, in the words of one Kevin, I'm gonna watch.
Gross.
He'll just say, I would like the information on the slave trade mission, please.
But that one doesn't pay.
And we can't get there right now.
I understand that, but just something to keep in mind for the future.
Well, I truly wish I could tell you more. Apparently the Zagirians are being held, and just so you all know, Zagirians are sentient and they're feline. So essentially, they're like cat people. Yeah, they are. They are. They range in colors: blue, brown, gray, pink, red. There's there's a whole variation of the colors as are with cats. They apparently are they are slavers. It's like that's essentially. Actually, why don't you all give me knowledge? We'll see what I can share beyond what I've already said. Just average check, and let me make sure it's set.
Which sub genre of knowledge?
I will take arguments for just about any of them.
Would you go for education? Would
Yes.
Corvix maybe have
May I
read
offer
up?
you lore?
Yeah, education, lore would probably be fine. I'm okay with either.
Because I heard a rumor.
Yeah, no, that's totally legit.
You want all of us to roll?
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, because then we can all be pitted against each other for what information we have.
Pick your best knowledge skill, essentially, is what I'm sort of... Xenology would be another one that we could work with. And
I have one success.
Those were some good rolls. So let's hear it.
I don't know why that second one rolled, but...
Corvix the nerd over here. Tell us what you got.
Corvix with his education roll got 3 successes, an advantage, and a triumph.
Okay.
Woohoo!
That was a solid roll. What did Kane get, and what did he roll?
Kane got diddly squat.
Yep.
0 on the
Wash.
board. All canceled.
So lore is certainly not Kane's specialty.
I got a
Elly?
success and an advantage.
Cool. So Elly, you read a little bit about them in school. They
Or probably just heard from Dad.
Yeah, it for sure. The Black Sun definitely had some interaction with them. How much interaction you probably wouldn't have been privy to, but anywhere there's a slave trade, that means there's probably some kind of black market, underground dealings, that sort of thing. So that that they're slavers. Let's see, what else? That's probably all you know. You know they're slavers. You know that they had a pretty powerful empire. And Corvix knows a whole lot more.
Everything.
And there's a reason for that. I probably should have given Corvix a boost for this role, but you did extremely well for it anyway. Because it sort of ties in with your obligation, you've studied a lot about slavery and oppression and this kind of thing in the galaxy, because you're trying to understand why is it that so many species look down on droids. Why is it that artificial intelligence is sort of not regarded the same way that organic life forms are by so many organics? And in that study, one of the things you learned about is the Zagarians. You know that they built, again, feline species, they built this powerful empire by selling their slaves. And they did that until recently because, until the Old Republic. Basically, they were outlawed, right? So the Jedi went up against them in the good old days, quote unquote. The trouble is they have tried to revive their slave trade. And so what you know is that you've heard your own rumors through your research that as much as the rebellion is trying to directly oppose the Empire, one of the ways they're doing that is by freeing slaves when and where they can, in the hopes that those slaves will then help reinforce the rebellion. So, so this is all sort of in your memory banks, in your in the readings, in the sort of bits and pieces you've collected through conversation and so forth. You kind of piece all of this together. So the Zagarians are trying to rebuild the slave trade. You know that the Alliance is, generally speaking, trying to oppose that and free those people, those slaves. You also know that the Imps are notoriously known for having slaves. Like the Empire uses slaves, and it's known. So you can imagine that there's some connection there. And when Ristal said that, the rumor is that on the planet of Sevarkos, which is Sevarcos, Sevarkos, apparently there's an imperial labor mine there, slave labor mine there. So that's kind of all she tells you, but you can then infer that if you can find where this base is and potentially free some of them, maybe you can get in the good graces with the rebellion. That's sort of what you gather from the information she gave you and your own former knowledge.
See, Gregory says he has learned this, but I'm just picturing that before he found the Great British Bake Off, Corvix just watched a lot of documentaries.
Just all the documentaries, all the time.
Yeah. He uploads them frequently to his data core and memory bank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't sleep. What do you got to do with your extra time?
What
right?
else are you going to do?
So the thing about this one is there's no specific client or contact. She's just essentially fed you some information. So she shared a rumor that she was privy to from somewhere. The other job is essentially like she's basically doing her thing, which is she connects people. That's how she gets paid. When she puts two clients together, occasionally she'll be the middle person, like she did with the weapons and armor crates, but more often she's going to put person A with person B, and then she gets paid for making the connection.
She's a matchmaker for criminals.
She's a fixer.
Corvix will just thank her for the information. He has logged it, taken his internal notes, whatever.
Cool.
And he's ready to mosey on out.
Awesome. So, the information she gave you for getting a hold of Rincana essentially was like a comm signal, like a comm number or whatever. She tells you to just mention her name.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do? Yep, you guys. She leaves at the same time. She's like, I hope we can do more business together in the future. I'll be playing. I'm taking a few days off, but we're playing again later this week if you all are around. And then she kind of politely excuses herself.
Are we in a rush immediately to contact this Rincana, or are we going to kind of hang out a little bit because Corvix would like to find a Sabbath table?
Ooh. I'm not in a particular rush, but also we could play phone tag just so that we start getting information out there.
That's true.
I'd be willing to just like text him while you go play Sabak. I'll just be messaging people over here.
That brings up one of my this is a little out of character, out of game.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things about sci-fi is like old sci-fi tried to predict like things that would just be super useful in the future, like comm links and your data pads and stuff. And our cell phones are so much more cool, like so much more handy than that. They never predicted that we would just be sending text messages to each other, which are so much more handy than calling someone on like a little badge or comm link or whatever.
I mean, there's advantages to both. Like,
yeah,
just
definitely.
calling somebody on your badge is infinitely more productive because things happen immediately. But if you're like me and just hate talking on the phone, texting is the best invention ever because no confrontation.
Recognize too that's a federation thing, right? That's because it's a military organization. So think of your walkie-talkie. It's like the modern version of a walkie-talkie, right? It's way more convenient, way more advanced than a walkie-talkie. That's all.
One of my favorite things to do in the military is to ignore texts from my supervisors.
Hey,
bud, you want to go on this recruiting thing? Oh, didn't see that.
Kev's supervisor, if you're watching.
I was just going to say, man, you're not supposed to put that on the internet. Delete.
They know because they're ignoring texts from their supervisors too.
I'm sure. Well, so what would you like to do?
Sorry, derail.
So above the table, I had intended that things would become a little more sort of open world at this point, to where it's like, hey, there's a couple things you can do. You can spy on the Empire base, get that information to the Trandoshan, to get that information to the Rebellion. You can go check out this slave trade. You can find out what this Petroleum has to offer. If so there's sky's the limit. Do you guys, you can try working off your own debts and obligations.
I would like to speak to
Ulthi
at some point.
Yeah, I'll set that up for the next session.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Because I need to parse that, think about what's going to happen, what he's going to tell you, that sort of thing.
Yes.
That's going to be a little fun and challenging.
You have left so many open ends that I don't know which one to grab. That's my problem.
Option
I'm
paralysis.
overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by choices.
Which one's the most interesting?
All of them. You can't do that to me.
Then let someone else decide.
From a player discussion point of view, we cannot get to Savarkos easily without getting some sort of third-party transport. So we may put that one on the back burner.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Which Corvix is interested for his own personal reasons in going and instigating a slave revolt, but he does understand that that's going to take extra time, extra effort, extra credits. So maybe the Petroleum first, or if you guys have another thing, because I don't think Corvix knows anything about the spying on the Imperial base at this moment.
We had this talk of I vaguely tried to mention it in code, and then we were like, we can stop beating around the bush now.
Yeah, they've pretty much told you at this point.
You're like, we're schmying on the Schmirial Schmace. Wink, wink.
Yep.
That's exactly how it happened.
Corvick swished his drink.
Drink swish. That's our new wink. Shake, shake.
Yeah, so
is
that's a good point.
the-
You can definitely do that, but you need the second sunrise to be repaired and in working order to get
Yeah.
there.
Do we know, is the Rincana job on Socorro or is it a different planet?
She didn't say anything. She just said,
Okay.
"Hey, you guys should talk to this person. He's probably got a job for you."
Okay. Thank you.
So you need to contact him to get more information, basically.
Well, I guess we're going to let our droid gamble, and then I'm going to make some phone calls. Is the
Cool.
plan.
Makes sense.
Yes, I would like to play some Sabak if there's a table open.
There are, so in Fear Talks, there's usually, a few people, one or two, if not a whole like dozens. But you do know there are tables over in the corner, and they're frequently occupied. So it's fairly easy to find a game. And at this point, it's into the afternoon, so it's not quite dinner time yet, but it's getting toward that time of day. So there's definitely more people in here. There are at least probably 2 or 3 people playing currently. So game mechanics, I am not sure at all how to do Sabak. So if you all know how it's done, then I'm happy to let you do it.
I will
If we
go
just
look
want
it
to
up.
say you go
I can
do
explain the rules, but I don't know the Edge of the Empire rules for the game.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Like, how
I'm
do we
looking it
do
up.
it?
I'm looking it up.
How do we do it?
It's not in this one. Let me pull up another book.
And again, with that same thought in mind, just because I've offered you a few of these hooks, you can sort of follow your own line too. Like, you've gotten jobs from Drifter before. You could do that. You could do the spying on the Empire. You can. You do have to go back to the droid mechanic. So
I did.
we
Have
could just
to.
say that happens. We don't need to roleplay that if you want.
Do we have to go back?
No.
I would like to go back because Corvix is an honorable droid.
I would
also did
imagine
Okay, but I'm
find
a
some,
bitter Twi'lek.
I found some Sabak rules from, apparently it's from Under a Black Sun, page 27.
Yeah, and before he reads that, it says that characters automatically win all the money all the time.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Of course.
That's what it says.
So I am not
I
privy to
said
that
it. It's
book.
canon.
Do you want to share the rules with us?
Yes, let me blast
Is it
through
something
this
simple?
real quick.
Copy paste or
I think it's
In
probably a
Sabak,
couple of
players-
contested checks.
Probably.
that's what I was thinking.
Players attempt to develop a hand of plus or minus 23 using a deck of 76 chip cards that shift between positive and negative versions of their numbers until they are played. Step 1, the table agrees on a wager and each player pays this amount into the pot. Step 2, use a cool check to establish a base dice pool.
Ooh.
Step 3, the GM adds difficulty dice to the player's die pool based on the difficulty of the game and the skill of the opponents. Generally, the difficulty should be close to the highest skilled player. Step 4, the player rolls the die pool, leaving the dice on the table. They then roll a single force die to illustrate the shifting nature of the card signs.
Ooh.
For each dark side symbol, 1 success and 1 advantage are converted into a failure and a threat, respectively. Conversely, each light side symbol changes 1 failure and 1 threat into a success and advantage. Step 5, to cheat, a player instead uses his deception, skullduggery, or computer skill pool for the test. Upgrade the difficulty of the skill check once. On a despair symbol, the PC is caught cheating, and gambling immediately stops to resolve this discovery. Step 6, on a success, the PC wins back his wager. For each additional success, he wins another wager's worth from the pot.
Nice.
You know what? Let's not get into Sabak tonight. Maybe.
It seems a little complicated. Send me that info and I will read it so that next time, if we want, next time we can definitely do a Sabak game.
Let's do it.
Woohoo.
It's posted in the channel.
Perfect.
In the future, Corvix does like to gamble. That's one aspect of like that thrill of living that he likes to try to explore and hold on to. So this may
just
come
a
up again in the
wild
future.
party droid.
He kind of is actually just a wild party droid, is always trying to feel alive.
I love it. So
yeah, between the drinks with the umbrellas in it and just the like go buck wild on gambling, we have a sorority girl.
And the canon Hawaiian shirts.
Yep.
That's correct. Well, so are you all having a conversation about, well, so let's say, so Corvix is going to go and pay Tamar, yeah?
Yeah.
Did I say his name right? That would be embarrassing if I got it wrong at this point.
I believe Tamar is correct, like, because Nifer and I both made a joke about paying him tomorrow.
Tamara.
Yeah. So
Look, as long as it works for the pun, it's the right way.
Exactly.
Do it for the fun.
So mark that off on, the 80 plus 100 and on your sheet. What else?
Boo, I can't believe you paid him extra.
Repairing the did you get
He
your
didn't even do a good job.
chest plate repainted, or are you gonna keep it blue? Because I think that's kind of cool.
He's going to keep it blue. He's going to defer any offers to repaint it.
I
Awesome.
would actually like to leave a bad review on his HoloNet site, please. Terrible customer service and not good. Terrible customer service and not good craftsmanship, because both of those were very true.
Yeah, the die again, crummy dice roll. Sorry,
I don't care. I'm a petty person.
it's all good. Yeah, it's you gotta have some enemies.
This is a character choice, okay?
Mm-hmm. So, what do you want to do? The world is yours at the moment. We'll do the Sabak next time. We'll say you return to Fair Talks for that.
Corvix is going to defer to Kane and Elly. They know more about what's going on the larger scale of what the ship is capable of and what the crew is capable of.
The ship is not capable of much right now because Vosk has torn it apart.
Wires everywhere.
I feel like honestly this might be a good place to stop, and then maybe you could post our options, Gregory, in the chat, and then we can chat about where we want to go next.
Yeah. Especially because this is kind of like the end to an arc, so it'd be a good way to pick up the start of the next one.
And I feel like we have a lot of options, so I'd like to kind of take a second to look at them and
yeah, that makes sense. I appreciate that. So let me do a very quick recap here, but then I'll share more information. So from the way I see it, the basic ones are you can do some spying on the Imperial compound and get paid from the rebellion for that. Well, indirectly get paid from the rebellion. You can contact this person Rincana, that you were just given the contact information for, and find out what kind of job he has. You can obviously at some point you can go and try to investigate this slave trade. The things that aren't necessarily directly on the table are that you could try to help Vosk and Zarko, see if there's ways to accelerate the repairs, maybe find the right materials or that sort of thing. And then we can also talk a little bit about if you guys want to do specific things to try to reduce your obligation. So those are sort of the things that are loosely on the table. We'll chat about it in the Discord. In the meantime, let's just say thanks to everyone that hung out with us tonight. We were having fun. It was kind of a nice way to wind down this little first arc of the second season here. And we met some characters that Apparently I have to work on my voices because I feel like all of them are being, unfortunately, being received as like they're all jerks, which is okay. I can deal with that. And then, yeah, let's do our quick little outro. First, before we do that, I need to say thank you to Roll20. We are indirectly sort of sponsored by Roll20. The only reason we can play this cool game online is because Roll20 has given us permission and given us privilege of being a pro membership because they gave it to One Crit Wonder, who is also Vosk, and so we get to use the dice. That's so cool because, man, does it make our job a whole lot easier. So thank you to Roll20, and we love using it. It's, it's free. How could you not like it? And if you want to have cool stuff like this, you have the options. So check it out. In the meantime, let's go reverse order around the table. Nick, why don't you start us off? Who are you? Where can we find you? Who have you been playing tonight?
Yeah, so my name is Nick. You can find me on Twitter at LizardKingNick. And I have been playing Kane McAllister. Did I miss something?
No,
That's end of demo.
That's the one.
What, end of demo? Is that what you said?
Go ahead, Nif.
Hi, I'm Nifer. You can find me on Twitter at NiferNif or floating around the Not Quite Heroes Discord and Twitter. That's at NQH Podcast. And also on other Wednesday nights, I play Curse of Strahd right here, and it's pretty cool. Except it's less cool because we lost our baby, but we're going to get him back. So you should come watch us for that.
Nope, that baby
We might even get him back next week.
That baby is not gone.
Heck yeah, with that attitude, you will get him back.
Yeah, it's definitely
I got all of my bad dice juju out tonight, so I will do perfectly for getting the baby back.
Definitely.
So I'm Kevin at Son of Clark on Twitter. I'm on this wonderful show with these wonderful people, and I'm also getting ready to start a different space adventure.
You can't talk about that here.
Yeah, you cannot talk about that.
Hey.
Shush. He's our friend. We're going to let him talk about it.
I am getting ready to run a Schmarschmeck game every other Tuesday. You can find us on Twitter at Star Trek Icarus. That's Icarus, like the Greek mythological figure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Nintendo game.
Yes,
I thought you were talking about the Bastille song.
Also that one. All of that together is the inspiration. So we're getting ready to start hopefully in October. Still in the very early stages of development and getting together and everything, but you'll be seeing us bi-weekly every Tuesday, the same week that Star Wars is on. So I'm going to be double advertising both shows all over the place, in your face with both major Star franchises. Yeah, bam, there we go, space.
You missed the opportunity to make it rhyme. In your face with all the space.
That's what you're here for.
That's it. Wonderful. Well, good luck with that, Kev. I can't wait to hear more about it.
It's going to be great.
I'm sure it's going to be incredible.
You heathen. You treasonous heathen.
Hey, I like both franchises too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, we'll add you to the list with Kevin then.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you again for hanging out with us. We had a lot of fun, and we have even more fun when you are here to help us out with, just giving us little feedback and stuff from the chat, and we appreciate that. And hey, I'm Gregory. You can find me at Twitter. I said last week, you can find me at Twitch. That's not correct. You can find me at Twitter at Gregory Festo, and everywhere else, it's 1 in 20 D&D. I do this wonderful game so far every other week, playing Star Wars. As mentioned, on the opposite weeks, you can see Nifer and I playing some cool Dungeons and Dragons. We're going up against good old Strahd von Zarovich in The Curse of Strahd. I am also happy to be a part of the Dice Tyrants team and playing in 2 fantastic games with the Dice Tyrants. You can check us out tomorrow night playing Aether and Steamworks, Clockwork Zephyr on the Dice Tyrants Twitch channel. And then on Saturday Saturday, I get to play Zweihanda, which is an amazing game. We're playing the Last Bastion also on Dice Tyrant. So those are the cool things I'm up to these days. I stream my own game every other Monday, which is also kind of fun if you want to see some more D&D stuff and nerddom and that kind of thing. That's all me. Thanks for being here. We can't wait to see you. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I guess we'll be starting a new arc in 2 weeks, which will be interesting. So tune in for that. In the meantime, be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And we'll see you out there in a galaxy far, far away.